Good morning and welcome to Breakthrough to Business Success, Turning Ability into Opportunity, the show dedicated to helping entrepreneurs build, grow, scale successful businesses while creating lives of purpose, freedom, and impact. I'm your host, Davida Shensky, entrepreneur, speaker, coach, and founder of Career Performance Institute. Each week, we'll explore the strategies, mindset shifts, and proven success principles that help entrepreneurs overcome obstacles, seize opportunities, and achieve meaningful results. Whether you're launching your first business, growing your brand, increasing your income, or scaling to the next level, you'll find practical insights and actionable solutions that can implement immediately through expert interviews, success stories, business strategies, marketing tips, leadership lessons, and personal development insights. You'll gain the knowledge and confidence needed to move forward with clarity and purpose. Success doesn't happen by chance, it happens when vision meets action, persistence meets opportunity, and challenges become stepping stones to growth. So get ready to think bigger, take smarter action, and create the business that your life that you deserve. So welcome to Breakthrough the Business Success, helping entrepreneurs build, grow, and scale. Now, let's first talk about branding and why your personal branding matters. Because when you are building a business, you want to be remembered. Before we talk about marketing, attracting clients, or growing your business, we need to start with something even more important: your personal brand. Many entrepreneurs hear the words personal brand and immediately think about logos, colors, websites, or social media graphics. While these things are certainly part of your business, they are not your brand. Your personal brand is much bigger than your visual identity. Your personal brand is what people think about when they hear your name. It's the reputation that you build through actions, your expertise, your communication, and the value that you persistently provide. Whether you're a coach, consultant, speaker, podcaster, freelancer, nonprofit leader, or business owner, your personal brand influences whether people choose to work with you or someone else. So here's something that surprises many entrepreneurs. Every entrepreneur has a personal brand. The question isn't whether you have one. The question is whether you're intentionally creating it or allowing others to define it for you. Every interaction shapes your brand. Every presentation that you give, every social media post that you publish, every podcast episode you release, every client you serve, every promise you keep. All of these experiences create an impression, and over time, these impressions become your reputation. Your reputation is your brand. Think about the people you admire in business. Chances are certain words immediately come to mind. Maybe you're known for innovation, integrity, leadership, excellent customer service, or delivering outstanding results. That didn't happen by accident. That built the reputation over time through consistent actions. The same opportunity exists for you. Ask yourself, what do I want people to think about when they hear my name? If you answer isn't clear, now is the time to define it. Because if you don't intentionally shape that brand, people will create their own perception based on limited information. Branding is about perception. One of the biggest misconceptions about branding is that it's about looking successful. In reality, branding is about being remembered for the right reasons. It's the perception that people have after interacting with your business. Do they see you as knowledgeable, reliable, professional, helpful, trustworthy? Your goal is to create a consistent experience that reinforces these qualities every time someone encounters your brand. People remember stories, not logos. Here's another important lesson: people rarely remember logos. They remember stories. They remember how you made them feel. They remember the challenges that you helped them overcome. They remember the transformation they experienced because of your guidance. Think about your own buying decisions. You probably don't choose a coach, consultant, or speaker because of their logo. You choose them because their story resonates with you. Their message speaks to your challenges, and you believe that they understand what you're going through. Stories create emotional connections, and emotional connections build lasting relationships. Don't be afraid to share your journey, your experiences, and the lessons you've learned along the way. These stories make your brand authentic and memorable. Trust is built through consistency. Trust isn't built overnight, it's earned one interaction at a time. People begin to trust you when they see consistency. They notice that you're showing up regularly, that your message stays focused, that your audience aligns with your actions, that your consistency provides value without expecting something in return every time. Consistency tells people that you're dependable, and dependable businesses earn loyal customers. Whether you're posting on LinkedIn, recording a podcast, speaking at an event, writing articles, or sending emails, your audience should recognize your voice, your values, and your commitment to helping them succeed. Now, let me give you a simple example. Imagine two business owners who offer similar services. The first entrepreneur has a website that hasn't been updated for years. They rarely post on social media. Their message changes every few months. Sometimes they describe themselves as a business coach. Other times they're a consultant, a marketing expert, or a motivational speaker. People aren't quite sure what they do or who they help. Now, imagine the second entrepreneur. Every week, they publish helpful articles, share practical business tips, post short videos, appear on podcasts, and celebrate their client successes. The message is always clear. They consistently help first time entrepreneurs build profitable businesses. Over time, people begin to associate that entrepreneur with business growth and practical strategies. So when someone asks, do you know a great business coach for new entrepreneurs? Guess whose name comes up? The second entrepreneur. Not necessarily because they're more talented, but because they are more visible, more consistent, and more memorable. That's the power of a strong personal brand. It attracts referrals, it creates opportunities, it builds trust long before a sales conversation ever begins. Your breakthrough actions step before our next episode. I'd like you to complete one simple exercise. Write one sentence that answers this question. What do I want to be known for? Don't think about your job title. Think about your impact, your transformation. Do you want people to associate with your name? That one sentence will become the foundation of your personal brand and help you guide your content, your marketing, and the way you communicate with your audience. Remember this: people buy from people they know, they like, and they trust. And a strong personal brand is now how you earn that trust before a prospect ever becomes a customer. The more intentional you are about building your reputation, the more opportunity you'll create to grow your business, expand your influence, and become the expert that people confidently recommend to others. Your brand message is much more than a slogan or a catchy phrase. That is tagline. It's the clear, consistent message that tells people exactly who you help, what problem you solve, and why they should choose you over everyone else. If someone asked you, so what do you do? Could you answer in a way that immediately captures their attention? Most entrepreneurs respond with their job title. I'm a coach. I'm a consultant. I'm a financial advisor. I'm a speaker. But those answers don't tell people why they should care. Your audience isn't looking for another coach or a consultant. They're looking for someone who understands their challenges and can help them achieve the results they want. That's what a powerful brand message does. It moves the conversation away from what you do and focuses on the transformation you provide. What makes a powerful brand message a great brand message is simple, specific, and memorable. It doesn't try to impress people with complicated language or industry jargon. Instead, it makes people think, that's exactly what I need. The best brand message immediately answers the important question of who do you help? Be specific. The clearer you are about your audience, the easier it is for the right people to recognize themselves in your message. Instead of saying, I help businesses, try saying, I help first time entrepreneurs, or I help nonprofit leaders, or I help busy professionals. Specifically attracts attention. What problem do you solve? Every successful business solves a problem. Ask yourself, what frustration am I helping people overcome? Maybe you help people attract more clients. Maybe you help them improve their finances. Maybe you help them become healthier. Maybe you help them communicate more effectively. Don't describe your service, describe the problem you solve. What transformation do you provide? People don't invest in products or services, they invest in better outcomes. We're your customer today. Where do you want to be? Your message should describe your transformation. For example, moving from overwhelmed to organized, from struggling to profitable, from uncertainty to confidence, from invisible to recognized. That's what people are buying. Why should people trust you? Finally, why should someone believe you're the right person to help them? Maybe it's your experience. Maybe it's your proven framework. Maybe it's the success that you've helped clients achieve. Trust is built through credibility, consistency, results. Your message should communicate confidence without sounding boastful. A simple brand message formula. Here's a simple formula you can use to create a clear and memorable brand message. I help blank achieve blank through blank. So let's look at a few examples. I help first time entrepreneurs build profitable business through personalized coaching and proven business strategies. I help small businesses increase productivity and profitability through customized operations and improvement systems. I help organizations develop resilient, high performing teams through engaging keynote presentations and practical leadership strategies. I help families build long term financial security through personalized investment and retirement planning. I help busy professionals improve their health and lose weight through realistic fitness plans that fit into their daily lives. I help first time home buyers confidently purchase their dream home through expert guidance and personalized support. I help nonprofit organizations expand their community impact through strategic fundraising, leadership development, and donor engagement. Do you notice what each example has in common? Every message clearly explains who they help, the outcome they provide, how they help people achieve it. That's what makes a message memorable. And speak directly to your ideal customer. One of the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make is trying to sound impressive instead of focus on sounding reliable. Imagine that you're having a conversation with one ideal customer sitting across from you. Use the words they use. Address the problems they're experiencing. Describe the goals that they want to achieve. When people feel like they're speaking directly to them, they naturally pay attention. Your message should make your ideal customer think, the this person understands exactly what I'm going through. And here's some story examples. Let's compare two business coaches. The first coach says, I offer business coaching. That that's accurate, but it's also very broad. It doesn't tell us who they help. It doesn't explain the results they deliver, and it certainly doesn't tell us why they're different. Now, listen to the second coach. I help first time entrepreneurs build profitable businesses with proven systems and personalized coaching. Immediately, the message becomes more powerful. You know exactly who they're talking to. You understand the result they provide, and you have a better idea of how they help their client succeed. Which coach would you remember? Most people remember the second one because the message is clear, focused, and centered on the customer's success, not the coach's service. Clarity creates confidence, and confidence attracts clients. Your breakthrough action step before our next episode, I want you to create your own brand message using today's formula. Complete this sentence. I help blank achieve blank through blank. Keep refining it until it's simple, clear, and easy to remember. Then test it. Share it with a friend, colleague, or a client and ask, if you heard this for the first time, would you immediately understand who I help and the value that I provide? If the answer is yes, you're on the right track. If not, continue refining. Remember, your brand message is often the first impression that people have of your business. Make it clear, make it memorable, and most importantly, make it about the transformation that you help customers achieve. Because when your audience immediately understands your value, you're far more likely to earn their attention, build their trust, and ultimately win their business. Building credibility and trust. Now, you've developed a clear brand message that, and it's time to answer another important question. Why should someone trust you? You can have the best product, the best service, and the best ideas in your industry. But if people don't trust you, they're not likely to become customers. One of the biggest myths in business is that the person with the most expertise automatically wins. The truth is, expertise alone isn't enough. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. If no one knows who you are, if they don't understand the value that you provide, or if they aren't confident that you can help them, they'll choose someone else, even if you're more qualified. That's why building credibility is one of the best important investments that you can make in your business. Why trust buys buying decisions? Think about the best major purchase that you made. Maybe you hired a coach, bought an online course, invested in software, or choose financial advisor. Before you make that decision, you probably asked yourself questions like, can I trust this person? Do you know what they're talking about? Have you helped others succeed? Will they deliver on what they promise? Your customers are asking these simple questions about you. Every buying decision involves some level of risk. People wonder if their investment will be worth it. Your job is to reduce that uncertainty by demonstrating credibility before you ever ask for the sale. The more confident people have in you, the easier it is and becomes for them to say yes. How do you establish credibility? The good news is that credibility isn't something that you're born with. It's something that you build over time through consistent action. Let's look at some of the most effective ways to establish trust and position yourself as an expert. Share educational content. One of the easiest ways to build credibility is to teach. When you freely share valuable knowledge, people begin to recognize your expertise. You don't have to give give away everything that you know. Simply help people solve small problems, share practical tips, answer common questions, offer simple strategies that they can apply immediately. The more value that you provide, the more people begin to see you as a trusted resource. So we want you to tell a client success story. Nothing builds confidence like results. When prospective clients hear how you've helped someone else overcome a challenge or a goal, they begin to picture themselves achieving similar success. So don't talk about what you do, talk about what happened because of what you did. Focus on transformation. People relate to stories far more than statistics, so use testimonials. When other people recommend your services, it carries far more weight than simply talking about yourself. Whenever possible, use testimonials that describe specific outcomes. Instead of she was great to work with, share something like after working together, I increased my monthly revenue by 40% and finally had a clear marketing strategy that consistently brought a qualified leads. Specific results create confidence. Now, publish articles because writing articles is another powerful way to demonstrate expertise. Whether you publish on your website, LinkedIn, Medium, or another platform, articles show you to educate the audience while showcasing your knowledge. Every article becomes part of your digital reputation. Speak publicly because speaking positions shows you as a leader. Whether you're presenting at conferences, local business events, webinars, workshops, or networking meetings, speaking allows people to experience your expertise firsthand. When audience hear you teach with confidence and clarity, trust grows naturally. You don't need to speak to thousands of people. Even small audiences can lead to meaningful business opportunities. Host a podcast. Podcasting is one of the fastest ways to build authority. Every episode demonstrates your knowledge, your communication skills, and your commitment to helping others. It also allows potential customers to get to know your personality by consistently delivering valuable content. You're building trust long before someone else schedules a consultation or purchases your service. You need to be consistent online. Consistency is one of the most overlooked credibility builders. You don't have to be on every day. You don't have to be on every platform, but you need to show up consistently, whether it's one podcast every week, one article every 2 weeks, or 3 helpful social media posts each week. Consistency tells people that you're active, you're committed, and you're dependable. Trust grows through repeated positive experiences. Show authenticity. Finally, don't be afraid to be yourself. People connect with authenticity. Share your journey. Talk about the lessons that you've learned. Discuss challenges that you've overcome. Celebrate your client's success. People don't expect perfection. They appreciate honesty, transparency, and genuine passion for helping others succeed. Authenticity builds relationship. Relationships build trust, and trust builds businesses. Expertise alone isn't enough. Here's an important lesson to remember. You might be the most qualified person in the field, but if nobody knows who you are, your expertise remains invisible. People have to discover you before they can trust you. That's why visibility and credibility work together. The goal isn't simply to become an expert. The goal is to become an expert that people think of first. The only happens when the consistency shares your knowledge and demonstrates your value. And here's a story example. Let me give you an example. Imagine two business consultants. Both have 20 years of experience. Both have helped clients grow successful businesses. Both are equally knowledgeable. The first consultant rarely shares content. The website hasn't been updated in years. They don't write articles. They don't speak to events. They don't post on social media. Most people have no idea that they even exist. Now, consider the second consultant. Every week, they publish practical business tips. They write educational articles. They speak at conferences. They appear on podcasts. They host their own podcast where they teach entrepreneurs how to grow profitable businesses. When someone searches online for business advice, they repeatedly see this consultant providing value. Which consultant do you think people remember the most? The second one, of course, not because they're necessarily more qualified, but because they're visible. They're consistently demonstrating their expertise. Over time, people naturally begin referring to them as the expert in their field. Authority isn't something that you claim, it's something that other people give you after consistently seeing the value you provide. So, your breakthrough action step should be to choose one way to consistently share your expertise. Maybe you'll publish an educational article each week, record one podcast episode every week, post three helpful LinkedIn updates, create one short educational video, speak at one networking event each month. Don't try to be everything. Choose one strategy, commit to it, stay consistent for the next 90 days because credibility isn't built through one great post or one outstanding presentation. It's built through showing up again and again with valuable information that helps your audience solve real problems. Remember this, people buy from experts they trust. They, and trust isn't built by telling people how knowledgeable you are. It's built by consistently demonstrating your expertise, serving your audience, and showing up with authenticity. When you do that, you'll help stop chasing opportunities, and opportunities will begin finding you. And let's let's think about it this way, becoming known as the expert. As we come to the final teaching segment of today's episode, I want to ask you an important question. When someone in your industry needs a solution that you provide, does your name immediately come to mind? If the answer is no, don't worry. The good news is that becoming known as an expert isn't about being the smartest person in the room. It's about becoming the most visible, most trusted, most consistent source of value for the audience that you want to serve. Many entrepreneurs believe that authority is something you're given after you've been in business for decades. The truth is, authority is something that you build. One piece of content, one client success story, in one relationship at a time. What does it mean to be an authority? Authority means that people recognize you as someone they can trust. You're no longer just another business owner. You're the person they think of first when they need help solving a specific problem. They think about your own, or rather, let's say it this way, think about your own industry. There are probably a few names that immediately come to mind. Why? Because they've seen them repeatedly. You've read their articles, you've watched their videos, you've heard them speak, you've listened to their podcast, you've seen them consistently share valuable information. That's how authority is built, not through the viral post, not through one speech, not through one successful client. Authority is built through consistency, building authority over time. One of the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make is expecting immediate results. They publish one article, they record one podcast, post one video, then they wonder why nothing happens. Authority doesn't work that way. Think of it like a building your reputation in your community. People trust you because they repeatedly experience your value over time. Every article you republish, every podcast episode you record, every presentation you give, every client you help, every educational video you share adds another layer to your credibility. Over time, these small actions create something powerful, recognition, and recognition leads to opportunity, creating visibility. Here's something worth remembering: people can't hire you if they don't know you exist. Visibility isn't about becoming famous, it's about becoming known by the right people. The goal isn't millions of followers. The goal is earning the attention of your ideal customers. So, how do you become more visible? Let's look at external proven authority building activities. Podcasting. Hosting a podcast allows you to educate your audience consistently while increasing your expertise. Every episode becomes another opportunity to build trust. It also creates long form content that can be repurposed into blogs, social media posts, newsletters, and videos. Speaking remains one of the fastest ways to establish authority, whether you're presenting to 20 people or 2,000. You're positioning yourself as someone who is worth listening to. Every speaking engagement creates credibility and often leads to referrals, partnerships, and new business opportunities. And when you're writing articles, publishing articles demonstrates expertise in a way that's searchable and shareable. Whether you write for your own website, LinkedIn, Medium, or industry publications, every article becomes another asset that continues working for you long term after it's published. People often discover experts through content they create. Publishing books, a book instantly enhances your credibility It doesn't have to be hundreds of pages. Even a practical guide or a short business book positions you as someone willing to share valuable knowledge. Books open doors to speaking engagements, media interviews, podcast appearances, and client opportunities. Guests on podcasts. Don't limit yourself to your own audience. Appear as a guest on podcasts, webinars, YouTube channels, and industry events. Every interview introduces you to people who may never have discovered your business otherwise. Borrowing someone else's audience is one of the fastest ways to grow your own. YouTube videos allow people to experience your personality, your communication style, your expertise. You don't need expensive equipment. You simply need helpful contents that solve real problems. People often feel connected to someone after watching just a few educational videos. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about is networking because authority isn't built online. Attend conferences, join business organizations, participate in networking events, volunteer to speak, build relationships before you need them. Many of the best business opportunities come from people who already know and trust you. Now, now, let's look at and wow. Now, okay. Now, when people clearly understand who you help, the transformation that you provide, and why you can trust you, they stop competing on price and start attracting opportunities. Consistently share your expertise, serve your audience, and show up with authenticity. Over time, you'll become a person that people think of first when they need the solution that you provide. So, thank you for joining me on Breakthrough to Business Success. I hope today's episode provided valuable insights, practical strategies, and inspiration to help you move one step closer to your goals. Remember, every successful business begins with a decision to take action and stay committed to joining in the journey. If you found value in today's episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this show with fellow entrepreneurs who are ready to build, grow, and scale their business. For additional resources, training programs, coaching opportunities, and tools to help you accelerate your business, connect with us at Career Performance Institute. Until next time, keep believing in your vision, keep taking action, and keep moving forward. I'm Davida Shensky, and this has been Breakthrough to Business Success, where entrepreneurs turn challenges into opportunities and ideas into results. So, see you on the next episode.